this episode of The Excursion, I'll be challenged with explorations along the surf, sand, and seas of Florida's historic northeastern coast. And if I succeed, I'm swinging for the historic Island Green at TPC Sawgrass. But if I fail, it's the crew that gets this legendary golfing experience. Let's get started. It's the destination where it all began, the roots of America. From original Spanish conquistadors who claimed La Florida for the Spanish, to original settlers of St. Augustine who protected these precious shores with strategic and architectural ingenuity. St. Augustine is the oldest continuously inhabited European established settlement in the continental United States and has beautifully stood the test of time, with a few architectural marvels added on through the years. Stop number 1 for this excursion takes us to the Guantanamo-Montanza National Estuarine Research Reserve, or the GTM for short, an important part of America where Juan Ponce de Leon first set his eyes on La Florida.
The history of this place goes back over 10,000 years. And if you walk the paths and the trails here at the reserve, you're actually walking over different layers of human inhabitants here. Over time, you have the Timucuan villages. After that, you have this period of time that the Spanish were here. We have within the reserve one of the locations that has been documented of where Ponce de Leon was on his ship right before he came to shore. The logbook identifies a latitude and longitude right off the coast here of the GTM Reserve. There is evidence of a mission here on the Guana Peninsula. After the Spanish period, there was a period of time when the English settled here. Some of the first citrus groves was here at the reserve.
And what was it about this particular area that was so sought after by the many different countries and by people before them?
The string between then and now has got to be the natural resources and how folks came here to take advantage of the great experience hunting and fishing and the quality of life you can get in a place like GTM.
Seeing this history from a different perspective was my next priority, so why not make an adventure out of it? And I found just the right guy for this one. Meet Captain Zach Mckenna of St. Augustine Eco Tours.
This is the Castillo de San Marcos, built by the Spanish, started in 1673, completed in 1695. And this was to protect them from the onslaught of the British, who were constantly coming into St. Augustine's port to try to take it over. It's all made of a natural material called coquina, which are these
little animals, right?
You got it. These little clams about the size of your pinky fingernail. They come in all pastels. The Spanish really wanted a stone fort, and there's not a single rock in the state of Florida. The whole Florida is built up on crushed up seashells. So coquina is naturally very soft. And the beauty of it is, once these cannonballs came coming in, a 6-pound cannonball is about the size of a small grapefruit. Rather than shattering, it absorbed it. So it was like shooting a BB gun into styrofoam. These guys would volley 200 cannonballs a night. The British would wake up the next morning and see that no damage had been done.
Almost mystical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it never fell to the English. The entire town could fit in here. An amazing feature of this really fun town.
Zach and his team take you on a tailored journey through the history and ecological beauty of Florida's historic coast. Go the historical route, or the nature lovers route, or of course, my preferred option, a little bit of each.
You know, the dolphin love this whole area, and there's a lot you're doing to learn about them, just being in their environment.
Yeah, it was a cool way to start a company, knowing that they had never done research here and knowing that there was a need for vessels to help with rescue as well. So in this area, known as the Holy Hole, we have dolphins coming back here and trying new fishing techniques. So a lot of times you'll see typically a male dolphin trying to corner fish against oysters, or try a technique we call the alley-oop, where they chase the mullet upwards and then turn around and catch them on the way back in.
Oh, how about that?
That's pretty cool.
So we're going to be going on a little exploration through, I guess, a maze of sorts.
We got it. So yeah, I mean, we both have kids. We've done the corn maze every Halloween. Well, this is the only cordgrass maze I know about. Only kayaks can get through. We've got just the right amount of water to do it today. So you want to give it a shot?
Let's do it.
All right,
that sounds
man.
like a challenge.
Here we go.
This looks like a left fork, but my gut back there was to go right. That was a neat little trail. We conquered it.
Florida. It's so good to see you again. Nice castle! But you're going to need a moat.
I'm very, very fascinated by this ice cream. It's delicious.
You're also going to need loopholes. Clean the towers. Did we get it all? Oh, gracias, señorita.
Nice boat.
There's always something new to discover here on Florida's historic coast.
You should see my castillo.
Weaving through the marsh maze via kayak was an amazing experience. Who knows what direction I would have gone through this labyrinth without the help of my trusty guide, Captain Zach. Osprey watching us closely from a high perch, and a few bountiful fish eyeing us from below inspired me to take on another coastline challenge for the rest of the day, and that's when I met the Drum Man.
Drum Man Charters.
Drum Man Charters.
3 words.
And the Drum Man.
Yep, and do not know how to play drums. Got asked that for the last 15 years.
But black drum,
know how to
red
make-
drum.
Yep, there you go.
Alright,
And actually, trout are in the croaker family too, which most people don't know.
Really?
Yep.
I don't mind catching those.
So spotted sea trout actually have nothing to do with the trout. They just kind of look like a trout, but they're in the croaker family too. So
How about that? These are important waters for the rest of the ocean. Well, estuary here, but it's also great fishing. Tell me what we're catching out here.
this spot's kind of, we're close to the inlet area, so everything swims through here. This time of year, you'll see all the mullet jumping behind us and stuff. It's just starting to get the mullet run. So we have tarpon and that we don't normally have, possibly some snook and stuff here. And then we have redfish, trout, flounder, few black drum. They're more of a wintertime fish, and sheephead's more of a wintertime fish. And those are our main staples. And then we have the jacks, the ladyfish, the shark, stuff like that that moves in about Easter time and then moves out about Halloween. And they go to South Florida because our water gets a little chilly in the wintertime. But the rest of the stuff stays here all winter. This is a manna shrimp, and I had thrown a redfish in the live well earlier, and so he must have spit this up. And this is the claw that people have heard about. It comes off like a 22 caliber gun, and it can break a fish tank or anything like that. As you can see, redfish are extremely tough animals. They can eat this like it's no big deal. We have year-round fishery. I mean, you know, you can look around right now and what do we see? Not a boat in sight. That's pretty average. Weekends have a few boats, but I mean, we have downtown right here. And so it's pretty cool growing up in South Florida and moving up here. Like I said, it's been 20 years, but you can go out and have the water to yourself.
That is awesome. What is it you love about this area and this fishery?
The fishing's really good here. They're not.
You can hear.
Yeah, you know, they're going crazy behind us. They're not really pressured. Beautiful town. You know, you can walk pretty much everywhere. Everything's super safe and people are super friendly. Doesn't get much better than this.
Well, this show is about challenges. We got to have a little challenge here. I think we just got to catch a fish. It's not always the best conditions, but right now we got beauty. We have fish jumping around. Think you can get me on one?
We're gonna try. All we're gonna do, we'll start out here and then we'll see if the jacks or whatever's messing, but we'll see if we can get you a flounder here. So it's just a jig head,
Okay.
quarter-ounce jig head, and oh, that was awesome. Sorry.
If we need to go
snook.
after
That was a snook like that big that just came about 2 feet.
Do we need to go after that
Well,
snook?
let's go here for a second, see if we can get you one of these, because I mean, these flounder are, so we're gonna use a mullet.
Okay.
I don't know. Let's go mess over there.
Okay. We see something happening.
Put my troll.
And when something happens, the drum man gets to work. Oh, there was something.
All right, so if you feel a thump, you give it about 5
It
seconds.
was more of like a pool.
Okay. Let's see if he comes back. Slowly keep pulling straight up, because he should be pretty close.
Fighting pretty hard.
He's a little guy, but he's the right species.
Yeah! We got him!
We got the right species there. See how easy they come off?
Yes, right off. All right, let's talk.
So these are pretty cool. Of course, you can see they're super camouflaged. So one thing a lot of people don't realize, they have huge teeth and mouths. So they will bite you. Pretty big teeth. And this is, you know, a little guy here, they can still do some damage. And then, you know, perfect camouflage. So they swim on the bottom like this. I think about like 3 or 4 days old. So they're born normal, and then their 2 eyes are right here. After about 3 days, the eyes merge onto one side of their head. So I've caught them in a cast net. I mean, the size of a dime, and both eyes are already on the side of their head. And you can see through, they haven't even developed, you can see right through their body and their organs. So it happens really when they're super, super small.
And off he goes.
Got a few minutes before dark. Want to see if we get a redfish real quick?
Yes, sir.
All righty.
All right.
The sun was setting fast, delivering an awesome sunset, but my eyes were on the water.
5 feet to the right of where you're looking, because there's a strong wind.
The redfish were tailing, but with each spot, I only got one shot. My tired eyes were starting to lose the battle with the setting sun, but at the last minute, we spotted a little action to the right of our bow.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, no, he got off.
No, he's just swimming at you. There he goes.
Woo.
I'm coming.
Okay. He got off. Oh, you saw him.
he come off?
All right.
That wasn't a jack. What was it?
I don't know.
Was that a little baby tarpon?
Yeah, it might have been. He was all over.
Yeah, I'm getting down and I look and that thing's 3 feet in the air, skyrocketing. That was awesome. I look back, that fish was like this high. That might have been a little baby tarpon.
So the evening ends with a little mystery at the end of this long-distance release. And when we return, we journey back to the mainland of these St. Augustine shores to check out an old ice plant that has transformed into one of St. Augustine's tastiest attractions.
Ah, Florida. It's so good to see you again. Nice castle! But you're going to need a moat.
I'm very, very fascinated by this ice cream. It's delicious.
You're also going to need loopholes in the towers.
Did we get it all?
Oh, gracias, señorita.
Nice boat.
There's always something new to discover here on Florida's historic coast.
You should see my castillo.
A small tarpon or some other mystery fish showed off with a 7-foot leap out of the water, ending our fishing trip with the drum man in spectacular fashion. So after a good night's sleep, I decided to start off my day with a kick. Off to the city's old ice plant, now a fantastic restaurant and home to the award-winning St. Augustine Distillery.
This building is the first thing that jumps out, and I can't wait to get to part 2 of this.
It was a former home of Florida Power and Light. They used to make ice in this building 100 years ago. It was one of the first commercial ice plants in the Southeast.
And I love how you all have maintained what it was. You know, you still see little artifacts of what it used to be. You showed where they used to store the ice, and you have turned this into a little piece of history now.
Yeah, thanks. You know, we have a saying here. We love the fact that a century ago they were making the first black ice in Florida here, and here we are a century later, within the same 4 walls, having preserved the space, and now we're making Florida's first bourbon.
Bourbon's fun. It's yummy. It's tricky when you're starting a business because you can't say, okay, we're going to open, here's our bourbon.
Absolutely.
What'd you do?
So we made a decision. It wasn't a great business decision, but we said, okay, we're going to make bourbon. And as you said, David, the challenge is you can't drink it tomorrow. You got to wait. And in our case, you had to wait 3 years. And so we said, well, let's go ahead and make something else that we can serve. So we started with a vodka, and it was delicious. It was made from Florida sugar cane, which is cool. So it's local in that regard. We then went ahead and made a gin, and the gin is truly a Florida-style gin. It's got 5 different Florida-inspired botanicals. It too is made from a base of Florida sugarcane. And then a year later, we introduced a rum, and then the bourbon. So we kind of crawled our way into profitability. The first 3 years were a little challenging, but we're doing okay now.
Now, fine gin and bourbon are fun to discuss, but as my fellow visitors will tell you, they're even more fun to sample. And here, they make it exhilarating.
It's really neat to learn about all this. It makes you appreciate what you're about to taste.
All right, so we're going to start off
All right.
with our Florida Straight Bourbon. I have some open bottles right over here.
Fantastic.
This is that 88 proof, aged 3-year bourbon. Very approachable bourbon, very smooth bourbon. A lot of nice taste in it. You might pick up some caramel going on when you drink it.
Okay.
A little bit of vanilla you're going to be hit with.
It's smooth.
Right?
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, it really is.
As I said, approachable. Even people who don't care for bourbon, really, this is a nice bourbon for the new bourbon drinker. Then our port finish bourbon, this is the one where we kick it up to 102 proof. This enters a little sweeter and smoother to your taste buds than the Florida Straight.
And even though it's a higher proof,
But you're going to get that
smoother.
higher proof. When it goes down right around mid-chest, you go, oh, wait a minute, that's 102 proof.
Okay.
A nice bourbon hug.
all right. Cheers,
Cheers.
Excursion, folks. There's a big difference, though.
Right. So I like to drink this port finish on the rocks or just straight.
Yeah, and I'm feeling it.
Right,
And it's a
right.
good feeling. I just woke up. I wanted to wake up. That's better than coffee.
Good morning.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
All right, now we're moving on to the Saint. Now this is the one you thought that one had a nice finish. Wait till you taste the Saint. This is that just under 4-year-old bourbon, 114.4 proof, the barrel strength bourbon. This one, give a little sip first and kind of give it a chew.
I've been hearing about this one.
Yeah, take a little sip first, kind of chew it.
Chew it. I've never chewed bourbon, but I get it. I get it. Oh, I love it.
Yeah,
Thank you
it's
so
very
much.
good. Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah. I'm gonna be here a while. I'm just enjoying this. We got 3 bottles to finish.
Yeah, we got plenty of time.
Beautiful.
It's like candy.
It's all like candy. I love it. This is adult candy, folks.
An adult in a candy store.
Florida, it's so good to see you again. Nice castle, but you're going to need a moat.
I'm very, very fascinated by this ice cream. It's delicious.
You're also going to need loopholes in the towers. Did we get it all? Oh, gracias, señorita.
Nice boat.
There's always something new to discover here on Florida's historic coast.
You should see my castillo.
One historic adventure after another, that's just the norm here in Florida's historic coast. And after a successful escape from the marshland labyrinth and a flounder in the boat, a fitting reward was in store. And this one comes equipped with a little bonus challenge. But before we hit the course, we take a peek into the traditions and history of TPC Sawgrass with one of the resort's volunteer historians.
In here we have the champions locker room. If you win our tournament, you get a locker in here for life.
So if you walk around the halls of TPC Sawgrass, you'll see a lot of the portraits and artifacts that really bring to life the Players Championship, TPC Sawgrass, and the PGA Tour. And just from 9 to 5 each day, 7 days a week, we have storytellers here, volunteers who will take you around and really bring this building to life.
On Tiger's lockers on this side, there are 50 lockers in this room. But this is a very sacrosanct area. And here's only one left-handed club, and that's Phil Mickelson's. And see, all the grooves are missing from one spot where he hits the ball the same place every time.
That's unbelievable. TPC Sawgrass. When I was growing up, I always saw it on the Golden Tee games.
Right.
So I've virtually played it, but I've never played it. This is a special place.
It absolutely is. We're one of the only courses that host a PGA Tour event, and we're also open to the public.
Now the PGA Tour, this is headquarters.
Yes, so TPC Sawgrass is the flagship property. We opened in 1980 and with the first Players Championship in 1982, so we've been going strong ever since. When Pete Dye designed this golf course, he wanted to challenge every aspect of the golfer's game. He didn't want it to favor the long hitter or the great putter, and that's where 17 was was supposed to be just a short par 3 with water along the right side. Once they got into this area and started the renovations and construction phase, they actually found this really good pocket of soil and sand. It had a lot of sand in it, which is really good for drainage for golf courses. So they ended up using this soil on other parts of the golf course, and it left a big hole right here at 17. So it wasn't actually Pete Dye, it was his wife Alice that came to the site quite a bit, who said, Pete, why don't you finish digging out around the green, fill it in with water, and make it an island green. And Pete Dye, to this day, in his book, he gives credit to one of the most iconic, most photographed holes in golf to his wife Alice.
So is this the first of the island greens?
Absolutely.
Oh, that is really cool.
Today we're playing 115 yards to the pin. Nice smooth shot to the middle of the green. You're gonna have a nice birdie look.
So you make it seem easy.
It's not as easy. This is very difficult. We have golfers that can't wait to get here every year. This is a bucket list. They can't wait to get on 17T. And we average probably right around 55 to 60,000 golf balls in this lake every year.
Wow, okay,
So
okay.
There's plenty that come and don't conquer their nerves. But I have faith in you today.
I don't know if I can hit it in one. I can try. But are 3 tries fair enough for
3
me?
tries, I think you've got it. I've got confidence in you.
All right, all
Absolutely.
I pulled the head up.
I think that one's got a chance. Freddie Couples.
That's on the green.
That's on the green.
That's on the green.
Nice shot.
You see that, Craig?
Number
yes, sir.
Woo! All right.
They ain't never seen nothing like this before. Lit the room when I came through the front door.
You got this birdie putt here. Feeling good about it?
Yes, I think.
A little bit uphill. Might turn to the left a little bit.
All right, it's for par.
All right.
Yes. Now I can do the Chi-Chi rudder. Yeah.
Easy to conquer the 17th green. All right.
That was
Great
a
play.
treat, my friend.
Nice
That
job.
was so much fun. What do you got for food up there?
Oh, we have our midway grill there ready for you.
All right.
Time for a little lunch.
Yes, let's do it.
So, from the Western world's original conquistadors to the natural and historic beauty along these shores that have stood the test of time, St. Augustine, Florida, and its surrounding historic shores are an experience to revisit time and time again. Excursion complete. See you for part 2 next week.